In the bustling metropolis of San Francisco, an underground arena hosts a fierce robot fighting competition. During the event, a robot piloted by a girl with pink hair seemingly triumphs over its rival. However, in a shocking turn of events, Yama's robot rises and employs a chainsaw attached to its arm to decapitate the defeated opponent. Following this brutal victory, Yama challenges anyone to step forward for a duel, prompting 14-year-old Hiro Hamada to accept. Hiro's robot, significantly smaller than the others, is a creation of his own design. After placing bets, the match commences, but Hiro's robot is swiftly obliterated. He pleads for a rematch, insisting it was his first fight. Although Yama is initially reluctant, he changes his mind when Hiro produces a substantial amount of cash. As the second round begins, all components of the Megabot reassemble through magnetism, and its expression shifts dramatically. During the battle, the robot disassembles into multiple parts to launch an offensive against its foe. After severing the opponent's arms, Megabot decapitates him, securing victory for Hiro. However, Yama, feeling cheated, steals Hiro's robot and instructs his men to teach the boy a lesson. Just as they are about to harm Hiro, his older brother arrives on a motorcycle, rescuing him. In that moment, Hiro activates the Megabot, which manages to break free from Yama as they escape. Tadashi, Hiro's brother, expresses his disapproval of Hiro's involvement in underground fights. Although Hiro graduated from school at the age of 13, he has no desire to attend college, believing he has already learned all he needs to know. While Tadashi searches for an exit, the police arrive, leading to their arrest. With their parents having passed away when Hiro was just 3, their Aunt Cass comes to the police station to bring them home. Upon arriving home, they head directly to their room, where Hiro receives a notification about an upcoming robot fight. Eager to join the competition, he faces resistance from his brother, Tadashi. Acknowledging that he cannot change Hiro's mind, Tadashi offers to accompany him. However, instead of heading to the underground fight, he takes Hiro to visit his university. Upon entering the laboratory, Hiro is captivated by the advanced technology and realizes the wealth of knowledge available to him there. He meets Tadashi's classmates and feels a sense of excitement upon discovering that he is not the only prodigy in the room. Each student is engaged in their own inventive projects and shares their work with Hiro. When it's Tadashi's turn to showcase his latest creation, he attaches a piece of tape to Hiro's arm and pulls it, resulting in a minor scrape. Hiro yelps in pain, triggering the activation of Tadashi's robot, Baymax. The robot approaches Hiro, introducing itself as a personal health assistant designed to respond to sounds of discomfort. After conducting a scan, Baymax identifies the injury and applies an antibacterial spray to prevent infection. Hiro is amazed, and Tadashi explains that Baymax is capable of performing over 10,000 medical procedures, all programmed onto a small chip located in the robot's chest. As Hiro examines the components of the robot, Baymax rewards him with a lollipop for his good behavior during the treatment. He then informs Hiro that he will deactivate once the patient feels better. Hiro reassures him of his recovery, prompting Baymax to return to his charging station. At that moment, Professor Robert Callahan arrives, and Hiro is thrilled to meet the esteemed scientist in person, having always regarded him as a brilliant mind. After witnessing the Megabot, Callahan presents the young man with an opportunity to enroll at the university. However, Tadashi mentions that his brother is more focused on engaging in robot battles. Shortly thereafter, the brothers depart, and Tadashi urges Hiro to hurry if he wants to participate in the upcoming competition. Yet, after experiencing the environment of the laboratory, Hiro decides to pursue enrollment at the university, with Tadashi offering his support. He explains that each year, there is an event where students showcase their inventions. If Hiro can create something that captures Callahan's interest, he will secure a position in the lab. Despite spending the entire day trying to devise an impressive creation, Hiro struggles to generate any ideas. Tadashi then encourages his brother to approach the problem from a different perspective, and upon seeing the Megabot up close, Hiro suddenly has a brilliant idea. In the following weeks, Hiro dedicates himself to his makeshift laboratory in the garage, working diligently until his project is complete. With assistance from Tadashi and his friends, he brings his latest invention to the exhibition. When it's his turn to present, he affixes a neurotransmitter to his head and reveals a micro-robot he had kept in his pocket. As he introduces this as his project, some audience members express disappointment, believing the robot lacks functionality. However, once it connects with its counterparts, it can assemble into any desired structure. All commands are sent by the neurotransmitter. If the device is out of his head, the robots are disabled. In addition to transforming into any structure, microbots have the ability to transport anything easily. Anything the user can imagine, those robots are capable of doing. At the end of the presentation, Hiro's project is applauded by a crowd of people who are impressed with his invention. As the boy celebrates with his friends, Alistair Cray, a great entrepreneur in the field of technology, appears. After closely observing one of those microbots, he informs him that he wants to patent Hiro's project. While they are talking, Professor Callahan appears and tells him that Cray only got to where he is because he ignored several norms of science. Therefore, handing the microbots over to him could be dangerous. Hearing this, Hiro is grateful for the offer but decides not to sell his robots. Before saying goodbye, Callahan hands Hiro an admission letter and states that he looks forward to seeing him in his next class. Everyone leaves the event happy, and Tadashi states that he is proud of his brother. During the conversation, a fire breaks out, and the boy is informed that Professor Callahan is inside the building. Hiro tries to stop his brother from going in, but Tadashi claims he needs to save his teacher. Seconds after entering the building, the place completely explodes, and they both die. Days later, the funeral takes place, and Hiro can't even go talk to his friends. The boy falls into depression and prefers to stay hidden in his room. In the following weeks, he still lacks the strength to carry out everyday tasks. He can't even eat. In a few weeks, classes at the university will begin, but Hiro has not yet registered. Tadashi's friends are worried about the boy and try to contact him, but Hiro ignores all their calls. Traumatized, he decides to drop out of college and intends to return to the robot fighting ring. However, when the boy picks up the Megabot, one of the robot's parts falls on his foot, and Hiro screams in pain. At that moment, Baymax is activated and scans the boy. The robot notices that Hiro is unharmed, but his hormones and neural levels signify fluctuations in mood. In an attempt to deactivate Baymax, Hiro tumbles to the ground and discovers his project presentation coat, which had been discarded under the bed. To his surprise, he finds one of his microbots inside, a unit he thought had perished in the fire. Observing that the microbot is moving towards a specific location, Hiro places it in a petri dish to steer it properly. To help stabilize Hiro's emotional state, Baymax resolves to track the microbot's destination. However, by the time Hiro realizes Baymax is missing, the robot has already ventured into the streets, potentially causing traffic disruptions. When Hiro finally catches up to him, Baymax has already pinpointed the microbot's target. They arrive at an abandoned garage, but the entrance is secured. Driven by curiosity, Hiro opts to break in through a window. To follow him, Baymax must deflate and then reinflate. As Hiro surveys the interior, he discovers machinery producing new microbots. When Baymax arrives, the microbots spring to life, prompting Hiro to urge his companion to escape. With the door locked, they must find a hiding spot. As they near the window, Hiro spots a masked individual approaching, but they manage to evade capture. Hiro rushes to the police station, while Baymax uses duct tape to patch his own damages. Hiro attempts to persuade the officer of his story, but when he realizes the officer is skeptical, he decides to return home as Baymax's battery depletes. While recharging, Baymax inquires about Tadashi, and Hiro reveals that he has passed away. In response, Baymax accesses the computer to gather information on personal loss, equipping himself to assist Hiro in coping with his grief. The initial step in the healing process involves connecting with friends and family, prompting Baymax to reach out to Hiro's companions. Hiro has always thought that the fire that claimed his brother's life was an unfortunate accident. However, after encountering a masked individual, he begins to suspect that this person intentionally set the fire to steal his microbots. That evening, while Cass is engrossed in a television show, Hiro and Baymax quietly slip out to the garage. Hiro makes several enhancements to Baymax, equipping him for combat and even creating armor for the robot. With Baymax now prepared for action, they set out to confront the villain, but soon find themselves being pursued by a suspicious vehicle. Upon reaching an abandoned garage, they discover that the microbots are missing and realize they must track them down. The hero is seen carrying the microbots. As they reach the lake's edge, Hiro notices something unusual approaching, prompting him and Baymax to hide. The vehicle that had been tailing them arrives, revealing Tadashi's friends who express their concern for Hiro and attempt to take him home. Just as they are about to enter the car, the masked figure reappears and hurls a massive container at them. Baymax quickly intercepts the object, but is soon thrown onto the car as Wasabi speeds away. Hiro tries to clarify the situation, and as they navigate through the city, Baymax seizes the chance to scan their adversary. The masked man closes in on their vehicle, prompting Gogo to take control of the wheel. The pursuit intensifies, and the car becomes ensnared by the microbots. Nevertheless, Go-Go skillfully shakes them off, causing the vehicle to plunge into the water. Fortunately for them, Baymax proves to be the most skilled health agent available, successfully rescuing them from drowning. After they exit the lake, they make their way to Fred's house, where his friends are astonished to learn that he resides in a mansion. The surprises continue as they enter Fred's room, which is filled with an eclectic mix of dolls and fantastical creatures. While Hiro contemplates a new strategy to apprehend the villain, Baymax detects that his body temperature is low and begins to warm him. The other friends gather around to warm up as well, and Hiro inquires if they recognize the symbol found on some of the items carried by the masked assailant. Fred shares his theory, suggesting that the attacker is likely Alistair Cray, a businessman who had attempted to purchase Hiro's microbots, only to be turned down. Fred speculates that Cray may have orchestrated the fire to steal the robots without raising any suspicion, although Hiro remains skeptical and insists they require more evidence to identify the suspect. At that moment, Baymax reveals that he has scanned the masked individual and possesses all relevant health data. This prompts Hiro to devise a new plan involving a citywide scan to help Baymax locate the masked man. To implement this strategy, Hiro will need to enhance the robot's sensors. His friends eagerly agree to assist him in this endeavor, and Fred is particularly thrilled at the prospect of becoming a superhero. As they work on their suits, Hiro theorizes that the villain's neurotransmitter is embedded in his mask, suggesting that removing it could render the microbots uncontrollable. Before executing their plan, they utilize the mansion's space to practice with their new inventions, using Fred's butler as a test subject for their experiments. A few days later, Hiro unveils the upgraded Baymax, now in version 2.0, equipped with armor that enables him to deliver rocket punches and sport wings on his back. A magnet is used for the boy to attach himself and fly alongside Baymax. However, the initial flight is quite uncomfortable, leaving Hiro feeling anxious. They narrowly avoid several mishaps, and Hiro only finds solace when the robot safely lands at the Golden Gate. Moments later, Baymax propels himself hundreds of meters into the sky, gliding over the ocean. The robot then transports Hiro to the city, where they hover beneath the clouds, enjoying the sunset. When Hiro requests Baymax to scan the town for the villain, the robot identifies the masked figure and indicates that he is on an island nearby. After gathering their friends, they set off to that location. The friends are apprehensive, as this will be their first official confrontation. Upon hearing the faintest sound, they instinctively activated their powers, only to realize they were attacking a pigeon. As they made their way into the facility, the team navigated the hallways until Honey spotted something unusual. They stepped into a room that had suffered significant damage and began searching for the control panel. When Hiro activated the screen, a video played showing Craig unveiling his latest project to investors, a portal designed for the instant transportation of people and objects across space. Abigail was the first to be teleported using this technology, preparing her capsule for the journey. Moments after the launch, communication with the pilot was lost, and the portal began to self-destruct. Craig then disrupted the electromagnetic field, leaving Abigail trapped inside. After viewing the recording, Hiro and his companions became convinced that Craig was the masked figure and intended to utilize the microbots to reconstruct the teleportation portal. Just then, the antagonist appeared and hurled a large rock at the group. Baymax intervened, managing to stop the projectile and using his rocket fist to free them. The team united to seize the mask containing the neurotransmitter, but the man easily overpowered them. Fred was the first to fall, prompting Go-Go to attempt to distract him. As she ready to strike, Honey threw one of her jelly balls at the foe but missed. At that moment, Wasabi arrived, needing to wield his laser sword to fend off the microbot's assault. After all his friends were incapacitated, Hiro and Baymax soared into action, and the boy succeeded in tearing the mask from the face of the man responsible for his brother's death. It was then that Hiro realized the villain was actually Professor Callahan. During the exhibition fire, Callahan had used the microbots for his own protection, rendering Tadashi's sacrifice meaningless. Enraged by the revelation that Callahan had saved himself while allowing his brother to perish, Hiro commanded Baymax to eliminate him. However, the robot's programming forbade it from harming humans, so Hiro removed the original chip created by Tadashi and replaced it with a new one that permitted him to attack anyone who obstructed his path. While others attempted to prevent Baymax from harming an individual, Callahan successfully retrieved his mask and escaped with the microbots. Amidst the turmoil, Honey managed to insert Baymax's original chip, restoring the robot to its intended function. Enraged, Hiro pursued the professor, attempting once more to alter the robot's chips. However, Baymax intervened, asserting that his mission was to heal the sick and injured, not to inflict harm. He then displayed a recording made by Tadashi, who documented every effort to make Baymax operational. After 84 trials, he finally succeeded in getting the robot to function correctly, feeling immense joy in knowing that Baymax would assist many people. Watching this video, Hiro became emotional and sought forgiveness from the robot for his actions. At that moment, his friends arrived, presenting a flash drive containing a new recording they had discovered on the island. The video revealed Callahan arriving just as Abigail was trapped within the portal, leading the group to realize that she is the professor's daughter. Callahan is now on a quest for vengeance against Cray, who is unveiling his company's new campus. Suddenly, a masked figure appears and captures Cray. Callahan accuses Cray of causing his daughter's death due to his arrogance, as Cray was aware that the portal was incomplete yet allowed Abigail to enter. In retaliation, Callahan employs microbots to reconstruct the teleportation device and intends to destroy everything that Cray holds dear before the site is obliterated. Hiro and his team arrive, attempting to persuade Callahan to abandon his quest for revenge, but he retaliates by attacking his students and incapacitating Baymax. Hiro is thrown aside and gets pulled into the portal. His friends attempt to rescue him but are ensnared by the microbots. Recognizing the peril his friends are in, Hiro urges them to destroy the robots, as doing so would prevent them from being drawn into the portal and losing the ability to follow Callahan's commands. Upon realizing Hiro's predicament, Baymax breaks free and rushes to his aid. With the entire team united, Hiro instructs his friends to concentrate on dismantling the microbots while he distracts Callahan. By the time Callahan becomes aware of the situation, he has lost more than half of his microbots, and Baymax successfully retrieves the mask by extracting the neurotransmitter from his head. The portal begins to collapse, threatening to consume everything nearby. Cray declares that there is no way to deactivate it, and in mere minutes, it will self-destruct. The only viable option is for everyone to evaluate the area, but Baymax detects a life sign within the machine and chooses to assist. After all, that is his primary function. His sensors reveal a woman in a state of hibernation, and Hiro quickly realizes that it is Callahan's daughter. He decides to join Baymax on the mission to rescue her. Upon crossing the portal, they encounter an entirely new universe. As they make their way toward the capsule, they must navigate through countless pieces of Crytek debris. Once they locate the capsule, they prepare for their departure. However, just as they are about to re-enter the portal, a massive chunk of debris suddenly appears. Baymax leaps in front of Hiro to shield him, resulting in the destruction of his armor and the failure of his thrusters. Although the robot is now trapped, he remains resolute in his mission to protect Hiro and Abigail. In a state of despair, Hiro searches for an alternative way to rescue his friend, but time is running out as the portal is on the verge of collapse. Baymax then inquires if Hiro is feeling better, and upon receiving an affirmative response, the robot powers down. Initially, he utilizes his powerful arm to propel the capsule out of the portal just before it detonates. Shortly thereafter, an ambulance arrives, transporting Abigail to the hospital while Callahan is taken into custody. A few weeks later, Hiro begins his university journey alongside his friends. One day, while unpacking a cardboard box, he retrieves Baymax's arm and discovers the robot's chip hidden within his fist, which holds all of Baymax's programming. To restore his friend, Hiro simply needs to construct a new robotic body and insert the chip. This allows him to successfully revive Baymax, complete with all his memories. Together with their group of young enthusiasts, they continue their superhero endeavors, ensuring the safety of the residents in San Francisco. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.